What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow, based off what the chart is showing for NIO and based off what the data is suggesting. I'm also going to break down the overall market, what's going on with that, some rumors about NIO opening a facility in the United States again, and also some big news coming out from the Twitter page, which makes me very bullish for the long-term future. Now, before I break anything down, though, before I get into any more details, I still have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 10 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, out of the 10 free stocks, 5 are going to come from the wheel right here. So you could win 5 free AMC shares, 5 free Tesla shares, or a mix of all of them. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 2 weeks. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO is down about 4% for the day, almost 3.97% to be precise. A little bit green in the after hours, but overall it has been taking a bit of a hit. And I want to talk about what's going on with the market right now. So I know a lot of people get annoyed when I talk about SPY, but I want to let you guys know that the market is being affected collectively, and the SPY is kind of like a representation of the overall market. So is the Nasdaq, and they have a tendency of running together. So I want to talk about SPY because it really affects NIO. If we go back a couple of days, couple of weeks, on the fear and greed index, the market was greedy yesterday, right? And now we're back to neutral, and we're slowly getting closer to the fear. All right, that's not necessarily a good sign, because when this happens, that's when the market makers take advantage of big investors out there, when they take advantage of you and me. And this is just all part of their game. So what I essentially wanted to do in this video was talk about something very interesting that's going on for not just NIO, but the overall market. All right, so SPY pushes up to 431, 430. We have strong resistance around there. And after retail earnings came out, we had the FOMC minutes. After they came out, we did see a bit of a reversal from the market. The market actually got a nice push up, but after that, it dropped a bit. So what I'm looking out for SPY is we could get a bit of a push tomorrow. But it's not going to be a big one. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually fill the gap all the way up here on that 429 level. So we could actually get a slight 1% move to the upside. But after that, I do anticipate another big rejection off 430, followed by some more downside. So I am basically seeing the SPY trading sideways, acting very choppy now before we get a big reversal. And I think that the market's going to reverse from here very, very soon. With that said, for NIO, I do think NIO could push up into open, but I do see a big rejection coming, and we may actually see a slight downtrend to be respected. Now, I can't guarantee it's going to happen that quickly. I think that when SPY decides to push up, maybe it's going to happen at the same time to fill the gap all the way up to 429. This could end up happening tomorrow, right? Because you could argue that we have this inverse head and shoulders. We got to push up. We came down. We actually bounced off our previous support level. This is like a trend line I drew out from the trend that we've been on. So we're probably going to get a bounce and push up here. And I think during that time, NIO is actually going to fill the gap up here because it created a new gap at 21.25. So with that said, the best thing to do with NIO is look at the ranges where support and resistance levels are. It was kind of oversold on the RSI, pretty crazy. But anyways, what I'm essentially seeing for tomorrow is this. I think into open, right, NIO's going to get a nice push to the upside, a slight push like this, and we might get a rejection off 20.8. Now, as the day goes on, this thing might start to drop a bit, come back down to 20.4, as the market's going to be choppy. But I think NIO has the potential to push, get a nice breakout again. We might fill the gap at like 20.25, just like this, putting NIO up like, I don't know, 5 or so percent for the day. It's very possible for us to fill the gap when the SPY pushes up 1%. Then we get some downside after that, and then NIO starts to come down. And we might actually get a green close for tomorrow, a somewhat green close, around that 20.7 or so range. But then later on, I do anticipate a little bit more downside, all right? So when it comes to resistance, if NIO pushes up, we have resistance of 20.2. If we push up above that, then 20.8 has resistance. If we push above that, 21.5 is another key zone to look out for. I didn't actually mark this. I'm not sure what happened to the mark that was here. So 20.5 is a key zone to look out for as resistance. And after that, I would be looking out for 22 if we actually push that high. Now it's not looking like we're going to go that high, but things can change. If NIO comes tumbling down, all right, this thing is going to test 20.2. I'm sorry, 20.2 could become support if we do break above it. And if we break below that, we're going to try to hold 20. If we don't hold 20, this thing's coming down to 19.5, then all the way down to 19 flat. Very possible. And I do think in the future, maybe by Friday, maybe by next week, we should see NIO actually coming below 20. I hate to say that, but it does seem very likely based off this trend. You can see NIO is trading back and forth, but now it's starting to see some downside. RSI not looking the best right now. If you look at the daily chart, and I actually hide my drawings just to simplify this, we could see we're seeing a decrease in the RSI. NIO is becoming a little bit weaker, not as strong as before. And if we look at the MACD as well, we did respect a slight downtrend. We are starting to show some sideways action, but the situation in China will also play a role, not to mention other factors. So that is leading to some more potential downside. As far as the EMAs go, we got a 1348 EMA cross to the upside, followed by, this is like an almost cross. We got like a cross down, a cross up. This is when we were just trading sideways. But if we do get another cross here, this thing could start to come down in the later days, maybe going into like next week. So be on the lookout for that as far as the EMAs go. Because NIO, if you look at the trend, we're still below the 200 EMA on the daily. That's a bearish indication out there. So I do see NIO coming down a little bit later on, maybe more like next week, the week after. But a little bit this week, I do see some sideways action, but we could actually have a slight green day for tomorrow. But the overall trend is still pointing that same direction I was talking about, a little bit more in favor of the bears now, because I think the bears are going to be gaining a lot of control. Now, even though I made this prediction for the short term, for the long term, I'm still very, very bullish. I'm going to show you some of the other big reasons as to why. NIO is planning on building a new facility in San Jose for testing battery swaps to really take their business model global. So I think it's very incredible for them to do this. They are going to be working on new facilities, and I really think that there's a chance we could even see a new factory built in the US. They actually talked about this. It's just a rumor, though. It's not entirely confirmed, but that would be a very, very big catalyst for the long-term future. The last thing I want to talk about is the NIO ET5. Once again, it's a very amazing car. It's going to be a lot more affordable. I really believe that a lot of people are going to see value in what it's able to do, and it's going to enter the Chinese market and be absolutely massive, as NIO is now entering the sedan business. Now, with that said, NIO is doing very well. For the long-term future, I'm insanely bullish. For the short term, I do think NIO could close a little green tomorrow, but in the later days, I still think there's some downside potential for the market, and it may actually cause NIO to drop a bit too. With that said and done, thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great rest of the day. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys in the next video. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.